Hello everyone, my name is Abimbola Akinyomili Okoya on Now That You're Married. Today we'll be looking at another aspect of maintaining your marriage. We want to look at love, appreciation, commendation, and forgiveness. Love, appreciation, commendation, and forgiveness. Let's take the first one, which is love. Many of us mix love with so many things. Love is not sex. Love is not compassion. Love is not sympathy. Love is a feeling, a very strong feeling that you have that gives you personal attachment to one person. Love is something, a very strong bond that exists between you and someone. So when you narrow it down to marriage, love in marriage is the affection that you have towards your spouse, a very strong affection that will make you do so many things just because you love that person. Then let's examine, how do you show love? You cannot slap a person and say, I love you. Of course, it's obvious you don't love the person. So the easiest way to express love or to show love is to say it. Some people say it's un-African to say you love a woman or to say you love a man. But I want to tell you, it's not true. We have learned that when you say it over and over again, it sinks into you. So not just saying it because you want to say it because you mean it. Say it because that's actually how you feel. So you must learn to say it. I love you. It's so easy. I love you. I love you. I love you. The more you say it, the more it sinks. The more even you that you're saying it believes in it. I love you. Not only that, you can also express your love by doing little thoughtful things. Things that will make your spouse happy. Things that shows that you have great concern, that you really think and care about your spouse. You can do that by giving gifts, not only on your birthday or wedding anniversary or any special day. On impulse, even when your spouse least expects, you just show up with a little gift and then you back it up. I love you, darling. You know, especially women, we are moved by what we hear. Men are moved by what they see. So the more you tell your wife, I love you, honestly, the more she believes in you, the more she wants to hear you say it to her. And as a woman, the more you express your love to your husband by little gifts, even a wink, a smile, laughing at his jokes, sends a signal that you are concerned or you are interested in his life. Another way you can show love is by making time for your spouse. It may not be every day you will have time, but no matter how busy your schedule is, take time to send a message, take time to call. Take time to just say it, I just called to tell you that I love you. And then get interested in what your spouse is doing. Show interest. Women are terrible when it comes to that. Your husband loves football. He's a fan of a particular club. You don't even know who is the keeper. You don't even know how many people, how many footballers we have on the field at a time. Wow. Even if you never liked it, show interest, develop interest, take time to study so they can have a common ground for discussion. It's still part of love, being interested in what he is interested in. For example, if his team got beaten in a tournament, you can just give a call. Sorry about today, you guys will need to buckle up again. We know that at least you have interest in what he likes. But if all you do is, what's Arsenal? Is that a Nigerian club? Or don't display ignorance in any area that your spouse is interested in. Then you can also show love by being faithful, being committed to your spouse. Let your spouse know that he or she is the only one that matters to you. That after God, he or she is next. Can you imagine your wife walking up to you and say, darling, I just want to tell you that you are the best thing that has happened to me. After God, you are next in my life. How would you feel? Then go ahead, if you love what you just said, go ahead and tell your spouse that. It's not a crime to express your love. It's not a crime to be able to vocalize it, convert it to word. Don't just feel it in your heart. Convert it to word. Let it flow out of your mouth. And I'm sure you won't be castigated for doing that. You can also express love by making your sex life very passionate. Make sure it's a place that no man can argue about. Let it be a time that your spouse will look forward to. Don't just lie down there like a log of wood. Is it not you that wants to do it and get up? No, get interested, initiate it, give him things to think about. Send some signals during the day. And by the time you meet in the evening, it will be a free flow thing. Those are the few ones I want to share with you. Then let's go to appreciation and commendation. What does it mean to appreciate? To appreciate means to recognize or notice the little efforts that your spouse is making to make things work. Recognize it. Vocalize it. Say it out. Value your spouse. And even as you appreciate your bound, of course, when you like what your spouse is doing, the next thing is you want to say, oh, that was well done. Well done. This is good. You did this well. You did that well. It is not only when your spouse goes wrong that you say it. When your spouse does anything correctly, you should be able to express it too. You should be able to appreciate. And when you appreciate, you commend. You commend. When the soup is properly done, very tasty, say it. It is not only when things go wrong with the cooking that you begin to say it. The amala is not good. It's too soft. It's too hard. The day she does it well, appreciate her and commend her for it. Then you might wonder, how do you appreciate? Fine, we know you have to express your recognition of anything done. But there are other ways you can show. The easiest way is make up your mind you will always see the positive side of your spouse. Stop looking at the negative side. Focus on the positive. And the more you look at the positive, the larger it will increase. You just find that he's doing more to please you. He's actually increasing in his positive side. Take your eyes off the negative. Focus on the positive side of your spouse. Being appreciative also includes pointing out the startling qualities of your spouse. When you see anything good, something special, say it. Encourage your spouse. For example, your husband is getting ready to go to the office and you look at him. You tell him, man, you look good. Your tie is just right in place. And then you get up to just adjust it and tell him, have a good day. Honestly, you have put a smile on his face and he will think about it for a while before getting to the office. Oh, it's your wife. She just made her hair and it's looking so good. And she is matching it with a dress she just bought. Say, wow, this is my wife. Wow, you're looking so startling, beautiful. And she said, thank you. Women, we love that. Say it to her. It's not only when you think the dress is not properly ironed or you feel, oh, this color does not really blend. That's not when you should say it. You must learn to appreciate good things. See good things in your spouse. And when you see it, say it. Then begin to show genuine concern. When your spouse is bothered, show genuine concern. You may not be able to help, but then your soft word will go a long way in softening what is happening. For example, someone that is having serious challenge in the office, and she comes home brooding or he comes home brooding. Well, don't worry, you weather through. What's wrong with that, your boss? If I come to meet that your boss, why are you harassing my... You put a smile on your spouse's face. And then before you know it, you have mellowed down the gravity or the enormosity of the trouble. What you just said has watered it down. So you must show genuine concern. It's not when your spouse is telling you this is what I'm going through and then you begin to fire back with greater things that you are going through. That's not fair. That's not fair. When one person needs comfort or needs a shoulder to rest upon, that's not when you should start sharing your own issues too. It's time to listen and then to be genuinely concerned. And then another good way is to show public acknowledgements. It's not only when you are with your spouse that you compliment. Even outside, you should be able to say it. Feel free. I've had cause to tell my husband, don't worry me, I'll let nobody. There's one of his friends, I will never forget that. He came I think we're having a party or something, he came in. And as soon as my husband said, don't worry me, I'll let nobody. Meaning, my husband and my husband, no concubines. And then years after, he will still tell me, don't worry me, I'll let nobody. Give your spouse acknowledgements in the presence of others. It only goes to show that you are telling her, I'm not ashamed of you. You are telling him, I'm not ashamed of you. I can flaunt you anywhere. And then learn to get enticed, laugh about the jokes. He's giving you a joke. What's that? Some will even say, flat joke. Some will say, You should laugh. He's expecting you to laugh. He's been laughing. I said, do you know what happened? And he's already still laughing. I said, what is it? And then he tells you. And you begin to wonder, what's funny in this? I say, It doesn't cost you anything. You have succeeded in encouraging your spouse. So don't see anything wrong in what he likes. Don't run down what he enjoys. Don't run down what she enjoys doing. Don't begin to fault everything that gives her a smile. Then put your partner first in all that you do. Be considerate. Think about it. How would my spouse feel about this? Okay, you have 2 cars, 1 car is broken down, and both of you need to get to work. You should think about it. Whose place of job is closer? Who can weather through? Sometimes it's not a matter of whether it's a man or a woman that was okay, you woman take it. Sometimes you see that it's more convenient for you to find your way than for your husband to do. So why don't you just let him have the car for the day? Because you know, okay, he needs it more. Put your partner first. Put your spouse first in all that you do. Then I want to talk about forgiveness. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness means letting go. Letting go, making up your mind, okay, whatever, you have wronged me, you have offended me, but you know what? I won't think about it. Then when you forgive, some will say you should forget. I don't know how true that is. But over time, because you have made up your mind that you won't allow it to hurt you anymore, you let go. But when your spouse offends you and then you keep making reference, now you have said you are sorry. That was the same thing you told me last month. Do you know 3 months ago, in fact, some will even quote the date, on the 14th of February, you remember when we're going to see so auntie? They will quote the scenario. It's over a year. Let it go. Because you are humans. You are bound to offend one another. You are bound to offend each other. You are bound to step on each other's toes. But if you don't, like an adage in Yoruba, if you don't settle this first quarrel, how will you have time to quarrel again? So you must learn to forgive and let go. Behave as if it never happened. That's what forgiveness is all about. Then you have to make room for you to adjust in a way that you hardly remember it. And even when you remember it, it does not hurt anymore. That's total forgiveness. That even when you're talking about it, you are almost not remembering the totality of how it happened. And then you are not hurting. If you still talk about it and you feel bad and it hurts you, then you have not forgiven. Practice forgiveness, even when your spouse is not ready to admit. Some people, they will keep arguing. You know it that your spouse is wrong. But the person is arguing, no, that's not the way it happened. Okay, just make up your mind whether you agree or you don't agree. I forgive you. You will see that it will be easy for you. It will be easier for you to have an understanding of your spouse. When you're ready to, even before your offense, you are forgiven. They said, okay, what is it? Don't worry, I forgive you. And the more you do that, you see that the lesser fault you'll be seeing in your spouse. And finally, I like to say this to you. Don't keep records of wrong. Don't write it down in your diary. Some people will call into their room and then they'll write it there. On the 12th of September, year 2018, you gave me a knock. You stepped on me. You talked about something I didn't like. You don't need it. You know why? Because you end up hurting yourself the more. Probably the person that did it had forgotten. Because he has apologized or she has apologized. He has told you, I'm sorry. Then you are the one that is still keeping records of it. The more you flip through it, the greater your pain. So let go. Don't keep records of wrong. Do unto your spouse what you expect your spouse to do unto you. What you think if anybody does you won't like, you shouldn't be caught doing same. If you know if somebody does a particular thing to you, you will feel offended, you'll be angry. Then you don't have a business doing same thing to your spouse. That is appreciation. That is forgiveness. That is commendation. And that is love. Love covers everything we have said so far. Love does not keep records of evil. Love is ready to forgive over and over again. How often do I forgive? You keep forgiving. Just keep forgiving. Because if you don't do that, there'll be two people that will be paying for it. Your spouse will be paying because you'll be remembering, you are reminding him or her what he or she has done. And then the greater person that will feel it is you. Because in the course of the day, your spouse might even have forgotten, but you are still thinking about it. You are pondering over it, you are expanding it in your heart, even beyond how it went. Love covers all evil. When you love a person, you don't see the faults. And that's why people say love is blind. I don't know if love is blind. But I think one of the reasons why that phrase was very common, because I don't know how common it is anymore, is that you don't see any negative thing. You don't see, even when sometimes you don't even see when your spouse is hurting you. Because you are so full of love. You're loving your spouse more and more day by day. So sometimes even when he does or she does something wrong, you say, oh, I wasn't even thinking about it. I've made up my mind that nobody will offend. I don't get offended. Because one thing I do is, you conclude, this person is human. That's number one. And if he's human, then it means he's bound to behave as a human being. So instead of saying, you are being wicked, just say it. This person is being human. He's a human being. And it will make it easier for you to let go. And then you continue to love. Love is sweet. Love is that link between you and your spouse that started it the very first day you met, that kept it on when you were dating, that kept it on so much so that you made up your mind to live the rest of your lives together. So don't stop loving. Don't let that love be taken out of your marriage. Continue to love. That love is supposed to grow stronger, such that every day you just thank God the day you met your spouse. Just keep thanking God the day you made up your mind to marry that person. Thank you for your time. Thank you for paying attention to everything we have said so far, because I know you will benefit tremendously from it. I look forward to having you listen again. And I'm waiting for your question, your comments, your contribution. As you can see, we have some media being displayed now. Make use of anyone that is convenient for you and get across to us. I want to hear your side of the story. I want to listen to you. I want to answer your question. And if you want us to meet one-on-one, you can also get across to us. That can be organized, because my desire is that I will see your marriage flourish. I will see your marriage grow stronger day by day. Thank you. My name remains Abimbola Akinwumi Iliokoya on Now That You Are Married.